Guten Tag, and welcome to another Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, an episode of what we're calling a Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner, and I will be your navigator today. We've got Paul on the ones and twos here to make sure that what you see and what you hear is what you're supposed to see and hear and not anything else. And yeah, you're here, and you are the reason we get to do all of this. We want to thank you for your continued support of our program and all the programs here at Loading Ready Run over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, and of course all the other ways you can support us at store.loadingreadyrun.com, youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, and all the panoply of other channels we have there, and of course at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun. But the Patreon is the big one we want to remind you about right now, so thank you so much to those of you who are subscribers, and for the rest of you, well, thanks for joining us. It's this is a Let's Try program, as we said, and what we...
I was going to say, I feel like this particular case, I'm hoping this isn't a Let's Try, like, I feel like the process involved in today's thing is pretty well understood. Like, we're not going far outside the comfort zone on this one.
Generally, yeah. So we're not trying to teach you how to do that, because we don't need to give you instructions, because you can either have your own instructions or download them from one of the panoply of Lego-based sites on the internet. We're doing Lego. We're doing some vintage Lego today. Not so vintage that we are going back to the 70s, but we're going to go back to the 80s or early 90s, I think. I can't actually remember when this came out, and I don't know if there's any markings on the manual itself.
We've done so much Lego building in various ways in streams on this channel. This might be one of the first times we've actually just done it straight.
I think so. And
there's no extra people involved. There's no, people covering their hands in cooking oil before they do it.
There's one person with the directions who has to read them and relay them to the builder. It's all fine. And yeah, and normally I wouldn't do just a Lego build on stream, because that maybe seems too easy. Nah, it's nice to relax and just do artistic things every now and then anyway. But the reason I wanted to bring this one in was because I've been doing cleaning out of my storage areas, and I came upon the as I like to refer to it, because it sounds very Dune-ish, the House Lego from House Horner. So we unboxed all of the house Lego, and I dug around, found what manuals we had. My brother and I, we were a Lego family, so we got not an obscene amount of Lego, but a good amount of Lego. And we kept the manuals together, and we would do what we do at the time in the 80s, which is you build the set as she comes in the box, and then you take it apart, and you use all those special parts and the new parts that you got from the set to make something new, to make your own creations. And that's, if you want to go back to archival episodes of Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, I believe there's one with Graham and myself where we go and reminisce about some of those old creations, and you can go back as well and see some of the old Tinker Tailors about me recreating some of those original creations in digital forms. But I've still got the physical Lego, and it is still living in my home rent-free. So I figured we'd take the sets apart and start looking at the manuals, download some parts lists, and split it all up. And so that's what's been done.
Now, you say that you are the holder of the house Lego.
Yes.
Does that mean you were in possession of, like, your brother's Lego, like all the family Lego all came to you?
Correct. I mean, my brother, known fact that he went to Japan to go teach English, and then decided never to come back, and now he owns a bar there. And shipping Lego is difficult because it's heavy and bulky and takes up a lot of space. And so I did get in touch with him, and he said, it'd be fun to play with his old toys again. He'd rather just have the cash to give to, or to spend on some local Lego in Japan to give to his daughter there. But me, I have a TV show where I get to play with my old toys. So I'm excited to do that. And yeah, that's one of the sets that I did have, the crowning jewel in my collection at the time, and I think even past that point, the Lego Monorail system from the Futron space set, It was still known as Legoland, though.
I remember, like, even when I was a kid making Lego, and I think when I got into Lego was a little bit past the original space stuff. I remember this set as being kind of one of those sets that like was the big, like it was kind of the big thing
Yeah.
that, maybe like one kid in the neighborhood would have.
Yeah.
So you were that kid.
Yeah, I guess I was that kid. Having recently been looking into Lego a bit more, it turns out that it's kind of a lifestyle of Lego. Is that once you get into that, you're locked into Lego, as opposed to say action figures, in GI Joes. A lot of kids I knew had the GI Joes and action figures, so they get the big the big ships or the aircraft carriers and whatnot. And
Right.
This is the Lego. This is kind of the Lego equivalent of that, but. I remember seeing it in the back of the Consumers Distributing Catalog. There's a name for some of you out there who may or may not remember old Canadian retailing. But yeah, I think so. I've been doing a sort through of the sets, and got a full list on my phone here. There are some missing parts, unfortunately. In this set, none of them are structural from what I can tell, so we can still get this together and get it running, and it'll look good. But from this set, I am missing 2 of the 2x1 flat top black slate bricks, 2 of the 2x2 small satellite dishes, 1 of, I don't know how to describe this thing, but you'll see it when we get to it, and 1 wedgie piece. Thankfully, all of those don't fall under what Bricklink calls rare parts, which is...
So in theory, could these parts be purchased? You can purchase Lego piecemeal from, just like I need these, like, are these available parts that you could purchase to fill the set back up?
Absolutely, Paul. I've been working with a site called Bricklink. Not an endorsement, but they are a good site. I like what they do. You look up the site. It's really quite nifty. You can look up the site based on parts. The Lego that I had as a kid, in addition to the new sets that we'd get a few times a year, birthday or Christmas, that sort of thing, my grandmother purchased secondhand a large lot of Lego from a garage sale back in the mid-'80s, which contained sets from 1979 through 1982, which is not the time when I was playing with Lego. But we had some instructions, and some sets I had to just look at what I considered to be unique pieces, which is to say pieces that just aren't common amongst the sets. And looking them up either by part number, if they're on there, and some of these parts are older than when they were putting the serial number on the part, so you had to look them up by piece. But once you know what piece you've got, Bricklink lays out lists of all of the sets that contain that piece. You can filter it down by color, then filter it by year as well. It makes it really easy to actually start to put these things together.
Thank goodness for obsessive hobby people.
Yeah.
That's amazing that it's like every set is not only indexed, but also indexed by every unique piece that's in it.
Well, and indexed by variant of the set. Sometimes the sets had a V1 and V2 with small, different, like 1 or 2 piece changes. And so they get you in there and decide, you've got a drop-down menu to choose behind that. It's frankly amazing. But they've got a checklist mode. So you don't get to see the instructions, but you do just get this grid of parts. And so I've been spending the last few weeks on the floor destroying my back, parting out sorting through this giant pile of Lego of multiple sets, not knowing which one is which, and then checking off the list. By the way, Firefox works great on the Bricklink site. Do not use Safari. I don't know why, but it drags. But sometimes they'll have on those, you have an option to actually see the current price for some of these parts. And it's amazing the variety. Like this one comes with a lot of rare parts. This is something that only appears in I think 3 sets, and so therefore is difficult to find.
That's like a switcher or like a
Yeah, it's the direction control for the monorail itself. You
Neat.
twist this little part, and that goes back and forth. But it'll show you the price for the for some of these the parts. And then sometimes you'll get a little mark on it that says rare color, and some of those will not show you a price because the part is no longer available for sale either from Lego or currently on the open used market.
Wow, and that's the serious stuff.
Yeah, and there's a number of those things. And then there are some where you just get the 1 tall by 3 gray door, which will be $39 on the open market because Lego isn't making them anymore. Of course, that's something you can replace with a part that's a slightly different color or a different color entirely, or just a reissue of the part. But if you want these original parts, you might be paying big bucks sometimes.
Of course, you've got the 3D printer as well. So that's the Lego cheat code there.
I've been thinking about that.
I feel like that's the equivalent of doing the thing where you take all the stickers off the Rubik's Cube and,
And then put it back.
and put them all back to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's like if you just print out whatever bricks you want, you can make anything out of Lego.
Yeah.
But that's kind of defeats the purpose of the operation to some extent.
I guess I'll give that a try at some point then in the future. But I think the big problem is the coloring of the 3D printed parts.
Right.
You're not going to get that same sheen. You're not going to get that same maybe even that same
And it's true.
transparency.
It's true that Lego is, of course, known for its ridiculously tight tolerances.
Yes, they're extremely good for that. But it also means that you end up with yellowing on some things because of the type of plastic used. So, like, this part is going to be significantly different from this part, and that's going to affect overall value of the resale of the set.
Oh, interesting. So that that might have been if in the big box of Lego that one was on the top, whereas the other one was lower down in the pile.
Pretty sure I can say that this one was probably the one that was one of the wing pieces on my my own personal magnum opus fighter bomber machine.
Oh, I
And,
see. So it was out on the shelf.
Yeah, it was displayed on the shelf for 24 years, whereas this one was still in the Rubbermaid tub. But yeah, let's start by sorting things out here a bit here, so that we can make this a little easier on ourselves. Those are our tracks, or our trucks, I guess, for the main thing. Let's get that there, and anything else that's big and weird, like this motor.
Now we did get a couple of 9-volt batteries.
Yes.
But they're scrounged from what we had here at the office. So they're of dubious quality.
So
it turns out we haven't used 9-volt batteries in a long time.
very true. So we may or may not get to see motion today, but to allay the chat of any fears, the interior of the box is free of corrosion. We did not we did not keep a 9-volt battery in there over the course of several decades.
That is excellent.
Forward thinking there, I guess. So yeah, let's crack this manual and get started, shall we? I guess we need to configure our dudes, and I think I've already pre-configured the dudes, because that was kind of the last thing I did when I was doing the collection, was finding out which minifigures go where. So we got 3 of our yellows, 2 of our blues. Eagle-eyed viewers will note that these are the 2nd generation Lego Space People, technically known as Futron, but they've got the zip-up angled front and the visors, which in my mind as a kid were the coolest thing ever.
That opened and closed.
Yeah, and I think I was wondering if I need to actually change them. No, it's just that these ones look green because they're blue visors on a yellow guy. So we got our guys, 3 yellows, 2 blues. I don't know what the ratio of command to engineering is there, but we'll have to go with it. And now we're coming into one of our first missing pieces that I know of, but let's start scrounging ourselves for 2 of these small whites.
I hope the little Lego men there aren't too it's like, hey, Lego men, we're building you a monorail. We're missing a few pieces, but don't worry. They're not important ones.
Oh, thanks. Great.
Be like, I think maybe I'll just wait for the next monorail that comes along that's, complete.
The next generation full monorail. One of these. There we go. And Ah, the ASMR of Lego building.
I remember I had the I was big into the pirate Lego, and I had the one of the early generations where it had the cannon that
Oh,
fired
yep.
that
yep.
had like a little spring-loaded thing where you could load a cannonball or the sort of
One of these little things, I believe.
yeah. And then it was spring-loaded and fired. And later iterations of the pirate Lego stopped that.
Did not include that one, no.
Turns out being able to fire small choking hazard pieces at other children wasn't a great idea.
Yeah, I believe that one would definitely be classified as a rare color. Oh no. This is kind of good for me because this is sort of a double check for this particular set as to whether or not I got everything in there correctly. And I'm beginning to question that right off the bat. I'm sure it's here. It's just... We're looking for another one of these guys, so if Chad happens to see it, let Ian know. All right, well, you know what, for now, let's skip ahead to part 2 of that same one where we need, good God, what are those things called? One tall, good?
Durosynth says something there.
Oh.
Attach the tall slope.
Yeah, it's attached to the tall slope brick 2x1 pip on top, 1x1 recess on the bottom. Uh-oh.
We've turned this into an even worse version of...
Yeah. If you're going to let me know where a brick is, please send a quadrant of the table. I know I'm going to need this later. But I know what they mean by angled brick. Man. So that's one of the pieces of technology I would have liked to have had a few months back, is a piece of technology with a camera that can actually just look at a pile of Lego and tell you what you can build with it. And I think there's something similar to that.
Like there. So it takes a, so it does a, like a object recognition thing and actually figures out all your different pieces.
Yeah, because actually that could work. I know that I know the BrickLink has the ability where you can just shove in the pieces that you own.
Right.
And it will spit out a list of all the things you can make with them.
But doing it on like a pile like this where things are like obscured would be particularly difficult. But...
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how viable it would be. What's the other piece we need? We need a black 4x2 plate to put all these things on. You know what, Paul? I thought this was actually going to be a lot easier than it is currently. Not that I'm complaining. Okie dokie.
I was, I was of the school of, build the thing that's on the box, you have it for a little while, and then that then gets disassembled and put into the communal big tub of Lego.
Yes.
Right. Of course, then like 6 months later, you want to build the thing again, and so then there's the pawing through the thing looking for like that one little piece. I swear I saw it right here.
We had a similar problem to that. I mean, we get the big communal tub, but that would generally end up just being your standard 2x4 or 4x2 bricks. And then all the little things like these, all the crystals and all the interesting side panels would get put into large bases or other mega projects between my brother and I. We also had the hierarchy of power amongst these crystal pieces, anything that was transparent and colored. And red was clearly the least powerful and most common of all the crystals. But the blue round crystal, that was the one that had the real power. Of course, we only had one of those, and well, the older brother got that one and built a rather large power core that would have been difficult to disassemble. Okay, you know what? I'm not giving up, but I have completed this first section, 1, 2, and 3. We now have this piece minus the little white thing on the bottom. This is one of the missing pieces I know that I need, so we'll just hold on to it here for later. Let's crack it open. Ooh, okay. Step 1. Big ol' monorail plate piece. We've already attached the front bit because I don't want to pull it out, because I don't want to risk damaging it. Okay, now we need one of these, a 1x2, that goes directly in front of the piece there. And we need some white 2x2 flat tops. There we go, there's one. We don't want the printed ones. There we go. So those two go 3 pips back from there and in there. Ah, southwest quadrant, upper left corner. Aha, thank you. Perfect, Drescent. We got there. Boom. That is possibly the worst little shuttle roundabout I've ever seen, but they made it. I mean, some of those little Lego sets were a little bit ridiculous in my mind with how few parts they had and how much imagination you had to give to say, yes, this is a viable vehicle.
I like the, I kind of like that, like that you know, it was a minimal kind of.
Yeah, minimalist.
I mean, if you're in a spacesuit, right? It's just it's like a little booster thing.
Yeah, don't need much there. But I also appreciate the fact that this being one of the most extravagant sets in the space series includes this extremely minimalist vehicle. Okay, we need 2 1x2s. Let's put them down there. And oh, good. We're going to encounter one of the first hard modes of the manual. Some leavings of my first, well, not my first, but my most beloved pet, Max the Budgie.
Oh no!
Decided that this was a thing that was for chewing on, and they were wrong. Okay, we got that. Now we need one of these things, whatever these control panels are. That goes on top of the white bit there. Inverted angulars. Need 1, 2, and then a 2x1 brick. Okay, so we got one of those, one of those. Where is my brick? The other thing I'm going to have to do is spend some time at home going through other containers in cold storage to try and find if I've squirreled any computer terminals from the Lego sets away somewhere. Because those are one of the things I am missing more of than not.
It sounds like something that you would use somewhere else.
That's exactly my thought there. Or might have just kept around as a reminder of good times. I did love the computer terminals, especially there was one that I only saw in one set, and it was it's the terminals you get that are upside down, so that you get the pips on top like that, and it just had a screen on the bottom edge of an angled piece. Really kind of cool in my opinion. Okay, I don't know what these pieces are called, but they are common, and we need 2 of them, and now I have them. And now we need another set of these 4, 2 of the 2x1s, and then 2 of the 4x1s. 1, and there we go. The other issue with selling Lego is grading it for other people, because you need to include, you need to question whether or not you've got the instructions, what quality the instructions are in, and the quality of the bricks themselves too, whether or not they've got any dings on them, any yellowing, any teeth marks, which is more common than you think. I think it was even, it was the used Lego that was given to us that gave us the idea that, hey, we can take things apart with our teeth, because that's what these marks are.
Yeah, I think I probably have some tooth-marked Lego.
There are a few bricks that I did find that I decided to just not include with the with the setup, and have just gone on to recycled lives, specifically due to just too much tooth mark. Okay, we got almost the basic structure there. Now we're looking for a 4x1 brick for the front, and then 2 6x1s for the sides. Where are my 6x? There's one of them, and there's 2. Great. And boom. We've got the thing in there. It just needs a 1x1 plate with a design on it. Aha! One of the cooler designs, if I may say so. Not sure if that's visible, but it always reminded me a bit of the TIE Fighter or the X-Wing screens for their targeting computers. I really like the look. Okay, angle pieces. We need 4 of those now. 1, 2, 3. Wow, okay, right there. Thanks, bag. And there we go. And then we are looking at 2 of the flat bars, which I know I saw over here. Haha, perfect. I guess technically they're plates, I guess. There we go. That's starting to look like a monorail car, and that's definitely the carrying area there. So let's get some of those blue cones. We're going to need 4 of those, I think. Yep, 3 and 4. Slide those in. So now here's a question for the chat, and as well for you, Paul. Were you one of those people who swapped the arms on your minifigures for different color combinations?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe hands.
Yeah, hands were a common one, because gloved or not.
Right, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would actually swap the arms.
Yeah, the arms, and specifically in these sort of angle pieces, where they come in the kits unassembled and you've got to put them together, really made for some difficult ways of sorting the sets, because I know that my brother and I had, over time, disassembled many an arm and disassembled many an angle piece like this, which caused me to have to decide, is this an original color that goes with a set, or do I need to remanufacture my own? Because you never want to end up with too many mismatched pairs. Hey, a flip of the page. Okay, and now we get to start on the top here. Oops. Maybe let's... Yeah. Okay, what do I need for this? We need one of these front pieces. Angly with a pips on the front side. I'm now just remembering what it was like to do a lot of this digitally, and it was it's a weird disconnect between digital Lego and physical Lego, because with physical Lego, you know what the part is that you're looking for, but you have to find it with your eyes and scan and just have good eyes and good memory too. helps as well. But there's no way to search for the part. Whereas with the digital catalogs, things are organized and you can scroll through the catalog to find the part you're looking for. You can specify by color. And if you know the name or the code of the part, you can just type it in. But there's still a lot of that hunting and pecking and trying to find things.
I mean, I guess it's a lot of it would be the same as like working on, any kind of puzzle or something, right? Where you're sort of looking for a specific piece.
Yeah, this is a lot more puzzle-like in this respect. Whereas I guess a digital Lego, I would say, is a lot more like like disassembling a circuit board and trying to decide, okay, yeah, this resistor is this, so we can read it off from the top, or you might need to look up the resistor codes to find out what type of resistor it is. Okay, now we need one of the flat plates with the hole in the front, which I always used to call the phaser, and in fact would sometimes give to little minifigs as a makeshift phaser because it looked so much in my mind like the Type 1 phasers from Star Trek The Next Generation. Kind of I guess a rectangle with a button on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here, and hey, there we go. Now we have our two front pieces. Now, we're going to get into another place where we're missing some pieces, but let's do the build anyway. We need 3 of these little satellite dishes. The set requires 16 in general, so...
16?
Yeah.
That is a large number of small satellite dishes.
More than one would think, right?
Are they supposed to be satellite dishes in the context of, oh, I see, they're like stacked up.
Yeah, in this case, I think they're meant to be more like an electromagnetic field generator for a bumper.
Right, okay.
So there we go. So now you've got your bumper for your front of your monorail.
Oh, right, of course.
Clicks right on there.
Nice.
And that looks good too. Now we need another 2 of this one, but in black. So let's, there we go. Got them. That was easy. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, and these need to be 3 pips back from the front. Stick them in there. And a black 1x2 to go across here. Well, that's not structural. Then we need another 2 of these 1x4s, and those go on top of the angle bits.
Here, if you do find yourself needing help from chat, here we got. I can.
Oh, wow!
We can put a grid over the.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. I like that. I really like that. Okay, this one's really coming together. Feels good. We're still here. We still haven't gone past there. Oh, can I take a second to mention the font that they use for the numbering on these Legos? Specifically, I think it's just the Space Lego sets that use this font, but I believe that's Universe Bold or Extra Bold Extended, which is or it might be Swiss, but used heavily in the UI components of 2001. It doesn't get enough love these days, in my mind. We are looking for black plate, 1x2, need 2 of them. There they are. Oh, and that's the other bit. I'm missing 2 of those. So later on, we'll just have to remember what we're missing. Okay, that is step 5, I believe. Let's make sure we've got everything there. Yep. Step 6. We need 2 times these rocket things, which include whatever this piece is called. It's again one of more interesting pieces. And a cone and a 1x1 red pip on the back. Ooh, that is a cracked pip. Not sure if I'm going to be able to keep that as is without replacing it. And technically, it still all works, but I don't know. Is this going to? Would this be going to a child or a very angry collector? Oh, perfect. We need one more of these white 1x2s. Boop, boop. There we go. That's 2 more on that side. And then we are going to need 4. Good lord, 4 of these? 4 white 1x4s. That feeling when you're really questioning the design motivations of the people who originally made this set.
I mean, it's neat to, because of course now there's all these like sort of there's like contests and stuff for the different new Lego sets. Like they have like a whole voting thing for it and all this kind of stuff.
And in fact, one of the most recent voting rounds, or it was the second community chosen one, was actually a sort of a callback to the original Space People.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, they didn't have this kind of this uniform. They made it was a mech figure for Lego Space, but they included green spacemen for the first time. But they gave them the new style helmet. I guess so that you don't get the famous chin strap split, made most famous by the Lego Movie, I guess. Wow, yeah, it kind of makes me wonder how many of the kids who watched, or how many people in general, who watched the Lego Movie understood the bit about the spaceman's split helmet, and how many kids were like, wow, that Lego's wrong. And the kid has to explain, or the dad has to explain to their kid at the Applebee's after the movie, like, oh yeah, no, we used to have these old helmets, and they didn't have visors. They only give visors to the knights back then. Which is weird. Those are some really cool visors they had, because they'd have a sort of a crest on top too. But nowadays, it's all about pirates and Star Wars and that.
Yeah, well, they do have a lot of like movie tie-in things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was quite taken aback the first time I saw the one, like I don't know, it was like 10 or 15 years ago now, when they did like the pirate set where there was non-smiling pirates.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Like the smiling pirates with like stubble, they did for a while, but then non-smiling
non-smiling pirates.
Non-smiling Lego figures was like a huge deal.
Yeah, I didn't like those. Oh, and then there were the Star Wars ones where they gave lip service, I guess, to making them look like the actors. Like, I think the only one that really that really looks like themselves is the Qui-Gon Jinn. For some reason, Liam Neeson looks like a Lego person to me. But while we're on the topic of knights and whatnot there, I was watching a short video about... the title caught my eye. It was something like the most sinister Lego set. And I only watched the video because it turns out that it was one of the mystery sets that I had in the boxes from that old used acquisition from my grandmother. And it's a little set called The Knight's Procession. And, that doesn't seem like it's anything sinister at all, right? It was from some of the very old Lego Knight sets, back even before they got into the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves sort of, what's his call? Archery man. Robin Hood, that's his name. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the shooting man.
Robin Hood. The archer from Robin Hood.
Yes. Woo, okay.
I was like, yeah, I couldn't help you with that because I thought you had already said I was like somebody else from Robin Hood who's known as a good archer.
Hey, Beach, can we get a CO2 check in Studio C, please? Yeah, so it's just 6 knights and a cart. And normally you see, and it's not a horse-drawn cart, it's just 6 knights walking along with the cart. And it makes you think, okay, what's going on in this set? Well, maybe they're just knights who walk. Well, no, knights don't walk. Knights are landed gentry. They're people who can afford horses. That's their defining feature. They're mounted. Why are these ones walking? Well, one of the only times a knight would walk would be in places where it would be difficult for them to take horses or to have a horse-drawn carriage for their loot. Wait, their loot. That might be where they're coming from. Maybe after raiding a city. Maybe if they're, I don't know, Templars? The only knights in history who are known to be walking knights? There's the set in chat. Arclight's got it. What it comes down to is they're figuring that these are knights just after the original sack of Jerusalem by the Christians, post-raiding party. And that's just thinking about what the names of the sets were at the time, what they're carrying, and why they're not on horseback.
They're also happy.
Yeah, oh, they are. Well, I mean, wouldn't you be if you owned the city that you've never owned in history before or since?
One of my prized possessions in terms of Lego was I think I had like a guy. It was like like the Black Knight or something, and it had a standard black helmet, but the visor was like it had sort of the pointy. It had this whole like sculpted visor with like a huge plume on the top. It was very cool.
Those were
that opened and closed and everything.
Those were super cool. We were happiest when we got our a couple pirate sets that contained the epaulets for for some of the higher ranking pirates or admiralty, and so we'd put those on the M-Tron figures as to be our officers, and of course gave them fancy caps whenever they were inside their base and whatnot. It was, God, we were martial. It's kind of weird. All right, let's attach these blue window pieces here. Crystal clear. And I think we are very close to being done this particular car. We just need one of these here, 1x2 bricks to clunk up against the back there. Then, gotta make sure I'm reading everything correctly here. Okay, we need 2 of these large white angled pieces. Here we go. And then we need...
It's a shame that all the views out the windows of this monorail will be like weirdly tinted blue.
Oh, I'm just guessing that that's the Lego space program attempting to make the skies of the cold black skies of space just a little bit more familiar.
Right, it's like the Emerald City in The Wizard of Oz.
Was that what they were on about?
That was I mean, they didn't do that in the movie, but in the original text, the deal was it's not actually an Emerald City. Everybody in the city just has to wear green tinted glasses. It's actually just like a white marble city, or like white concrete or whatever.
That absolutely sounds like something the wizard would do.
Yeah, and the wizard just proclaims that everybody wears green tinted glasses.
God damn it. Did we get everything there? We did get everything there. Good. So that canopy goes on like that, and that is seated correctly. Now we need 4 of those L brackets.
Yeah, the actual like L. Frank Baum Wizard of Oz stories are a little messed up.
I've heard they're a bit dark, yeah.
I mean the Return to Oz movie.
I was just going to mention that one as the example.
That's like yeah, that was like a very formative, like the scariest movie I'd ever seen when I was a kid. Like that more so than any horror movie or anything, that kept me up at night.
Oh, the tricycles?
Yeah, the Wheelers.
Yes. Ugh.
And yeah, it was just like the most disturbing. In fact, I saw actually a little like, YouTube essay thing talking about it, and it was about how it's like the most terrifying movie, and you say it was saying like if you look at the different elements that are in it, it's basically like if you took a list of all the things young kids are afraid of and would find disturbing, it's just basically it's like deliberately designed to traumatize kids.
Yeah. And I seem to remember seeing it broadcast on the Wonderful World of Disney on CBC on Sunday nights, which is, generally supposed to be a place that's safe to plunk your kid down in front of. And then, to find out that everything that's horrifying about it is because, it hews closer to the book.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, for instance, Dorothy is, like, much younger in it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it starts off with her going to her Auntie M sends her to an insane asylum, and she's about to undergo electroshock therapy.
I remember that now, and I'd forgotten that was part of that movie, but the electroshock itself is burned into my brain. This is a thing you do that can happen to children? Well, now I have a new worry about life.
I mean, interestingly enough, electroconvulsive therapy is a legitimate therapy that is used even now.
Yes.
For very important therapeutic purposes.
Yes.
The person is actually unconscious when it happens, though. They are sedated and then they do it, and it is actually a very effective therapy for some people.
Yeah, it's just not an effective therapy for making your kid less of a problem.
No. Yeah, it is not for kids who have flights of fancy.
Or have been to another country. God, can you imagine sending your child away on an exchange program where they somehow go to Oz, and now you have to send them to an asylum afterwards? I learned so much on my trip to Nova Scotia. Or Princess Edward Island, I guess, is a better example there. We can bring what's her name, Anne of Green Gables into it. All right. Okay, good. So we've got our first part of the monorail with its deliciously opening doors.
Nice.
And canopy. And now, let's build that space coffin.
Although easily opening doors is not necessarily what you want in a space monorail.
Well, I mean, it depends what you're doing at the time, right? If you're in a fire situation and you need to get out.
I guess everybody is wearing spacesuits.
Full of highly compressed oxygen. Okay, there we go. And 2 of these blocks go here and here. Nothing special about you. And then we need, good God, 4 more of those angle pieces. How many have we got here? 1. And then, of course, once you get to the final piece, when you're looking for multiples of something, that's when every one of them disappears.
Right.
I swear it's...
And a piece that you keep seeing over and over again when you're looking for something else.
Yep. you
now you can never find.
you've absolutely brushed that somewhere else. Just give up.
Yeah, fundamental rules of Lego.
2, 3, 4. The quadrants of the many differentiations, not just quadrants, but of spaces for how to sort the pieces that I eventually ended up with by the time I was done sorting all these pieces was Byzantine, to say the least. Because, you know, the Byzantine Empire, huge fans of interconnecting bricks.
Where large portions of the floor of your apartment were covered in little piles of Lego.
It was most of the living room had been broken out, and it was connections of you'd have different. We did it by color first, and then eventually I got so sick of sorting through the colors, it would just be a case of, okay, special parts or vehicular parts go in this pile, and then the rest of them are here, and then it was, okay, other special parts or crystalline parts go over there, minifig parts over here, and
Did you have like a designated "don't walk in this area in bare feet"?
Only once did I accidentally catch a pile with my foot, and that the cleanup was not pretty. Go, those two there. Now we are on step 4. We need 2 more 2x2s and small ones on top of that. Perfect. It was when I got to the point where I started just bundling up the common bricks, like the 2x4 bricks, and just connecting them into sets of 10, put that to the side. Until you finally just... It was starting to look a lot like, I want to say what a shipyard looks like. Just very small and all plastic. These are the 8s. Yes, we need 2 of those. Another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, you know, that shipbreaker game.
Yeah, but a lot...
I mean, you're even breaking up spaceships.
Well, and let me tell you about the blister I got in my thumb from the whole process.
From the, like, disconnecting parts and stuff?
Yep, because it makes no sense to... they were all of them in original creations, so there was no reason to keep parts together. So one of the first steps was click, 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 and so that edge of my thumb got real calloused up. It's actually just now shedding most of its skin. If you look closely, you can see the mark where I opened up a bleeding spot from splitting the skin.
Wow.
Yeah. Moisturize, kids, if you're going to deal with vintage Lego.
Is that... Yeah. I wonder if like a real hardcore Lego people you can see by like the calluses.
You know what? If I were hiring people to sort through Lego for me, I would issue each of my employees one of those disassembly tools.
Oh yeah, those little those things are great.
And it would be basically a workplace health and safety that you are required to use those for any sort of disassembly. You get written up if you use your hands. That's a chump's move. That's a way to end your Lego career early. God, can you imagine getting benched because you can't take pieces apart? It's embarrassing. Okay.
Maybe you would have like the you'd have like the Lego, the piece put together team, and then the Lego piece disassemble team.
I got to hire for different skill sets, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. These are what are one of the rare colors that I am confident in stating.
The arrows?
Yes. I love the print and the look of them. They feel very space. Or space program, I guess is the good way of putting it. Ah, I see. I'd forgotten what this thing was for. So, space coffin goes on the back there. That clicks in there and gets a little bit tight. That's nice. We open that up. We open this up. And inside here, we're apparently supposed to put tools. So I guess the person just got apparated while they were inside. We don't need to.
I like that it's got the like space coffin this way arrows.
I guess for direction of travel, right?
Mm.
But what I didn't realize until just now again is that the the little runabout is there for. This is basically the Lego Space Mass Transit version of a foldable bicycle that you get to put in the train.
Oh, I see.
For use when you get off for the last mile. Okie dokie.
Oh, it's pointing up like that.
Yeah, well, I'd assume that they're doing that because these are probably the hot end, and you might not even be able to cool them down if it's in my imagination. This is where the hot gas comes out, so you don't want to melt the floor of your monorail and possibly damage the track. Okay, I'm not going to bother looking for the wrench and the walkie-talkie because those will make themselves apparent to us later on. That said, this seems like a good time after we've got this finished for us to take our first break and get up, stretch our legs, swap our fluids, and get ready for more Lego building in just a few minutes. Please don't go all the way away. Welcome back to Tinker Tailor's Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian, and today we are building Lego. As you can probably see, you were probably here before, let's be honest. But the set we are building today is the 6990 Legoland Space Set Monorail. We've just finished our first car of the monorail track itself, and we're moving on to car 2. So I might just try to pick up the pace here. I think it's going to become a lot easier as we go along and reduce the pile of mess parts down to its things that are a little bit easier to find, as long as we don't jam it together. That said, we get to attach the engine now, which is always an exciting part. So we need a blue dish and 2 blue pips. Why? Well, we need decoration. Something decorative on the top of your little tip of your motor there. What I like about this is that they got good bearings.
Oh wow.
That's smooth. And that just clips into here.
So that's the only part of it that's actually moving, and it just pushes or pulls the rest.
Yeah, it's an interesting design for a train system, in that you did put the motor in the center, and it pushes and pulls based on which direction it's going. But at least that way you have your motive force in the area of highest resistance in every direction, so you can plan from that. I guess he said, dropping out of engineering 1 semester into the program and moving to psychology so that he can try to convince other people that he made the right choice, maybe even himself. Let's do number 2 here. Make it easy on ourselves. We got a 1x4 up front. We're going to need 2 more of those for the sides here, and 2 of the 1x2s, which are easy to come by now. Okie dokie. Boom. Easy peasy. This isn't necessarily the last Lego set I'm considering bringing on to Tinker Tailor, but I'm not necessarily thinking of making it a long and very repeatable. I built this backwards. Boop. All right, let's flip that around. One of the sets I want to bring on is probably one that I'm going to say the majority of you have probably not seen. But if you look it up, some of the pictures, oh god, dag nabbit.
Oh, the brick in the middle of the plate.
This is going to be a tough one. I might not even be able to get this one off without some help from something. Uh-oh. Because it's in the middle, right next to that, right next to a thing there. So he looks around for anything that might be able to be used as a spudger. Nope. Okay, well, we'll just have to deal with this. Maybe come back. Nope. Come on. Get the thumb under there. Thumbnail under there. Oh, it's just not long enough. Can I get that fingernail? Nope. Nope, no nails are big enough to get under there. Okay, well, we'll have to come back to that little piece. Hey,
I've got nails.
Oh, you got nails? Great.
I was planning on cutting them this morning, but didn't.
See if you can get any of those two off the end. Yeah, the back one is the only one we need to go. That one stays.
The back one stays?
Yeah, that one stays. The other one goes.
Oh, it's like right in there.
Yep. This is where the tool comes in really handy.
Yeah, I have one of those. It was great.
Yeah. Just didn't think I would need it today. Yeah, let's pick up the pace and wait while we have to fix the placement of a piece. While Paul is attempting to remove the 2x2 plate, I would encourage everyone to look up set 722, the Universal Building Set, because that has some incredible models that just on the cover of the instructions. And thank you so much.
Is it just that one piece?
That's it. That's all we need. Thank you. I hope that was wasn't too traumatic.
Nope, it was okay.
Okay, there we go. And so this one goes here, and this one goes here. And now we're happy. Now everyone is happy. Let's see here. 2 from there is a black 4 square. Stick it in. We need 2 more.
Are these, is the set code, is that like that's not a fan thing, right? That's an actual official Lego thing?
Yeah, and you'll find the set code, and this is something I'm so happy that Lego has not changed, is their graphic design standards for manuals and sizes. I did not realize how standardized their sizes are for manuals. I think it has something to do with the probably European paper sizes, but this is your large size manual. If you fold that in half, you'll get to the next size.
Well, it's just like, that's just like A4,
Exactly.
A5 paper, right?
But once you get past the second booklet size, I think you get one more booklet that's small and rectangular, and then the rest start going down to folding sizes.
But they've, over all the years, they've kept their set IDs like consistent.
Yeah, relatively consistent. I know that Bricklink likes to add a -1 to most of the to all the older sets I've used, but I don't. They might have done a reset number recently then for that reason. But thankfully, there are people in the chat who might be able to answer that question for us. There we go.
The worst thing is when, you have like a nice consistent number like that, and then for whatever reason, the company is like, we're going to start at 1 again.
You're like, wait, what? Why? So that was another one, was the early sets. I think set 001 is a representation of a wooden duck toy that is common in Belgium, I believe. And then 002 is a set, and I need to track this down, I think, because it's a Lego set depicting the injection molder for Lego bricks. Much like I just feel like it's something that would be fun to have, because I enjoyed so much putting together the Gunpla set of the machine used to make Gunpla.
I think we might actually have that.
The Lego injector set?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think somebody sent it to us on mail time.
Wow. Well then, bully to you, the person who sent that to us, and I sure hope I get to build that sometime. Ah, that's the wrong piece there. We need flat top. 1x2 flat. We need 2 more of those 90-degree dottoms. Oh, Arclight Dynamo's got the information there. Full-size manuals, half-size manuals, slightly larger than half-size manuals, and a plethora of tiny manuals. Oh, Shadowhawk says 001 is Gears, 002 is 4.5 Samsonite Gears motor set. Sorry, maybe it's 0001. Because you're right, in going through my research and trying to find out which sets I actually had, I believe I stumbled upon...
Oh no, 001 and 0001 are different sets.
I think, yeah.
Oh no.
Because I think the 001s or the 00s may also include some of the store-only pieces, one of which being the window set, old school window sets. In fact, in trying to look up these windows, I was only able to find them being part of a store display of old red windows. I don't know how to describe them other than old. They're a little bit intricate. They don't have pop-out glass or plastic. And they'd probably look really good in architecture sets today, but they don't make them anymore. I should actually just look up the set too. And then that way people can make their own decisions. But first I gotta find another one of these, friends, that 90-degree single pip bit.
All right. Put the grid up on the screen here. If you see it, chat.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cheat by sorting pieces as I go, but you know what? Maybe a little cheating is okay for us here today. You all go over here now. Oh, and there's our wrench. Let's put that in the toolbox. I mean, the coffin, whatever we're calling it for the moment. You know what? It can be both, depending on what you've got in there at the time.
Chet says walkie-talkie is in E7.
E7. Oh,
right.
You sunk my battleship. This is a ridiculously good system, Paul, and I love it. Thinking about how to actually harness the power of crowds, this is it.
Remember, you were talking about the taking a picture of it and having some sort of computer vision thing to recognize the parts. Our computer vision system is whatever.
Yeah,
200, 300, 400 people watching it all at the same time.
That's, you know what? I think that's probably going to be better than most graphics cards these days. Well, I mean, most graphic cards that you can buy. Found them. And these two go up here, interestingly enough, which also gets its... Oh, right, that's normal. It's just reversed from what we had before. Where are you? Flat plate. I'm also grabbing parts that I know I'm going to need later. Oh, good. I've found 3 of them, which means the 4th one will be impossible to discover.
Oh, you need another 4 of those 90-degree.
Exactly, and we're going to need another 2 of these at some point. We need, okay, we've got that. Good. Does this one have, no, this one doesn't have any fold down sections, so we're safe there. However, parts I actually need for this step include this one.
A8.
Wow, that quickly, eh?
Is for that other...
Oh, yeah, for the final 90-degree piece.
And, and another...
I got 5 of these now. This is incorrect. We've got another one of those. Aha, found it, and that is in D. It was technically D8, I guess. Fun. This is kind of like the opposite of keep talking and no one explodes. I just have someone here to have people here to help me with the production process. Okay, that's step 3 up here. Let's go over to step 4 in the manual, which is our big ol' flat top 1 and flat top 2. Oh, just for the consideration of people, I wonder if you can see the, probably not. There's some interesting coloration patterns on this particular block, I think. We'll keep that there for later if we ever swap a camera. Okay, there we go. Those are down there. 2 of these black top ones. These are the ones we're missing. Although, I was, as Paul and I were looking for 9-volt batteries before the show, I did run into a number of white brick walls that have been lying in the moon base here in the Tinker-Tailor cabinet since the last time we had a LEGO stream, I guess pre-pandemic, good lord. So I need to take those home, take them apart, and cross-reference them for potential possible missing pieces. Again, probably not going to fill out too many of the rare brick holes, but it is absolutely going to fill out some of the holes in the second copy of 722 that this person who compiled this set of old Lego put together. Okay, so I know that we are missing one of these pieces, so we're just going to take it off there for now and put it in the front of the car. Well, would you look at that? No problems whatsoever there. Okay, we need our front piece, the angle with the 4 pips on the front. And I'm going to take a little time to sort while we see pieces here. These all go together over here now. Again, I know I saw it earlier.
This is a 90-degree with 4.
Yeah, it's a 1x2 onto an angled 1x4.
Chat says C/D5.
CD5. Yep, that's right there. Oh my, okay. You know what? I need to just spend a little more time just doing it myself, I guess, here. Otherwise, we're going to be done in no time. It's all about pacing, chat. This is a... All right, there we go. There's our 1x2. Let's get our 1x2 on. And then the 2 red crystals, I guess, for so you don't bus up your night vision while you're bussing around your team members.
Is this like the other, like this would be facing backwards?
Yep.
Relative to the other car?
Yes.
With the engine in the middle between the 2.
Exactly, such that you can go both directions without having to turn the train around. I mean, I guess trains can do that now already, right?
Yeah. In fact, turning around is something that they're very not good at.
Okay, 3 of those. They go on the front. And then, wonder why these hoses are bent this way. Could it be that they spent years in that configuration? No, it's the children's fault.
Those are very, like those hoses always, they always feel like a little wrong, right? It's like, this is not, they're not blocks. They're not like, it's like if you had, you know, something like that in like Minecraft or something. It's like, this is not, it doesn't conform to the grid. It doesn't, it's like, this is not the way it should be.
Like, we say that, but it feels like, is it the same thickness?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes, it's
it
thick enough
is.
to, yeah, like it feels wrong, but it is extremely well planned.
So there is some they standardized it to that.
Yeah. Interesting. Actually, that's one of the parts that I'm currently, so I'm looking for another one of these, but one of the parts that I'm currently looking to find a set for that I haven't tracked down is two yellow transparent versions of these hoses. Go into some
Ooh.
sort of set. And those feel just weird because you don't generally find transparent. I mean, unless you are a beer aficionado like myself, you generally don't run into transparent hoses filled with amber liquid all that often. Okay, those go there. Anything else on this set level?
It's true. Lego, like the world depicted in Lego, is kind of an engineering dream, right? It's a world in which everything in the entire world is built to one
Oh
standard
yeah,
of sizes.
yeah.
It's like if everyone actually paid attention to, whatever the ISO or the engineering standards,
Or just the metric system.
and everything actually, everything was intercompatible and everything fit together. There weren't separate imperial and metric measurements for everything.
Every HDMI cable was the same way.
Yeah, yeah. A Lego HDMI cable would fit, in any kind of, Lego USB cables would be able to be inserted however you need to be inserted, and I actually, work on the same system.
I'm just personally worried about the number of bite marks that would be on everything in the world.
That's true. That's true.
Wait a minute. I hecked up, but not in a bad way. Just one. Those little rocket things need to go just one pip back. Wow, this is so much less stressful than Gunpla building in some ways. I don't feel like I need to worry about having to undo something. Oh, these go all the way to the front on these? Guess they do. Don't know why, but... It leaves the two pips in the back exposed. Interesting. Interesting design choices. And this is 6 long, so we need a second one of these. Where did you go? Ha!
Like, even, yeah, I remember I had a bunch of Duplo, which is even compatible with Lego, right?
Yes.
A one pip on a Duplo fits a 4 pip Lego.
It's impressive.
It's just like scaled up by one size category.
I always thought that was really cool because that way you could graduate from Duplo to Lego and still use it as a mass building material.
Right, exactly. You could build like a big structure without using a ton of Lego. You could have sort of the base with Duplo and then the use Lego for the
Fine details.
intricate pieces. Yeah.
Speaking of intricate pieces, we are now looking for a 1x2 plate in black. I should specify the color, so that matters. Not flat top, by the way, as well. Ah, found it. Whoop, whoop. Easily done. Oh, and we need our 4 nozzles in blue to indicate, I guess, that this portion of it is powered by natural gas.
Instead of the red.
I don't know about, well, actually, do we have the Blue Flame kitchen here in BC?
What is that?
Okay, so I guess we don't. The Blue Flame kitchen was I guess you could consider it kind of like a political action group, but not really. They were just a promoter of natural gas for cooking in Alberta. and it was a test kitchen basically. So you could buy the Blue Flame Kitchen cookbook or the Blue Flame watch the Blue Flame Kitchen.
As
short
far
bits.
as I know, that is not a thing here.
Okay.
I mean, I don't pay attention to natural gas marketing, so I don't know. But as far as I know, that's not a thing in BC.
All right. Well, we'll file away the Blue Flame Kitchen jokes for another stream, I guess.
We have the Rhino Party.
We do. I believe they're national, though, aren't they?
I don't know. Well, there's the on Vancouver Island anyway. Their main platform was that they would tow Vancouver Island over to Hawaii.
Right. I forgot that the Rhino Party is a lot more jokey than what the name implies. Where is my 2x4 slope? Which is something you don't get to hear often outside of Home Depot. I set it aside.
Oh no.
For purposes of getting, because I knew we'd need it. All right. Well,
Of course, by setting it aside, it means that you won't find it in the.
yeah, in the big pile. I'm just worried that I covered it with something else. So yeah, plenty of 1x2 slopes. No problems there. I found when looking for particular pieces, the best course of action is to kind of unfocus your eyes and just look for general shapes.
Chat says B6.
Yep,
There you go. Just got it.
Absolutely correct. Looking out for each other. That's what we're here for. Now we need 6 of these 90-degree plates, which we have easily and handily prepared earlier. So we'll do 3. Oh god, no, we need 8 of those. Whew. Well, it's a good thing we have 8 of those. 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and our good friend 4. And then we need this piece and another one that looks just like it. But isn't actually it. It has its own life. And there it is. Perfect. I like that they have, so by putting the plate, or putting these in this direction, we've essentially created a small, I guess you could say, luggage storage space on the underneath of here, inside the cabin. Yeah, somewhere for people to put carry-on.
Nice.
Carry-on luggage, just to be clear, if you were finding carry-on in and around your space base, please contact the nearest corporation officer. We may need to send someone to examine some things. There we are. Haha, things are getting easier as we go along. Okay, so these go in here like this. And then we need to add one of these and 2 of the plate versions of a 1x2. And then, I believe, you add the canopy, and Bob is your uncle. We have a second one of these things. And it doesn't get a space coffin, because this side will be housing our good friend the power adapter.
Ah.
So that still needs its own base plate.
It's like the coal cart in the steam train.
Yeah. I guess, although full of, I don't know, uranium? Can't just be...
Probably, yeah.
Either that or a very large 9-volt battery.
still just 9 volts, though.
Yeah. 9 volts, but oh, so many amp hours. That goes on there like that. And then three little black squares on the bottom to space it out for locking it in. And oh, I got to show this off in the manual too, because this is one of the coolest design decisions in Lego for their electronic stuff. They put in the sides of the pips the metal for conducting the electricity. And it's, of course, done in rows so that you can't get it wrong. But importantly, when you're dealing with the lights, again, you can put on your own color light for whatever you want it to be. These are, God, they're incandescents, too. They're not even LEDs. That maybe wasn't the best decision, but...
I mean, would they have had LEDs at this point?
Good question. That's it. One of the cool things you can do is that you can make it a flashing light or a steady light, depending on which way you've turned it.
Oh, cool.
I don't think there's any indication on the piece itself which direction is which, but it's such an easy thing to change that it doesn't even matter. But that goes on the back end here like this. And it needs 2 of the make go markers. So let's put it in the appropriate direction.
So I guess if we plug in one of those 9-volt batteries and the light turns on, that's how you know whether it's working or not.
Good point. We should absolutely do that right
Although
now.
it's entirely possible to have enough power to turn the light on, but not enough to power the thing. But also, if it's an incandescent light, it might actually be using that's why you need a 9-volt to run it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, let's get it in there. Let's see if it. See if we make light.
Oh, hey.
Okay, so there is power.
There's something there.
And if I turn it,
Haha.
okay, let's
So
leave.
is that there's a little circuit inside that light bulb block that does the flashing?
Yeah, and it depends on the direction of which way it's mounted matters. And I'm not sure how it works, because you could twist it 90 degrees like this, and okay, maybe that doesn't work that way. So on this strip of contacts, it's the lower, I want to say my southeast direction. This row is where the contact is, and it's northwest on this side.
Oh, right.
And on the bottom of the light, you have a metal connector just on this edge here, and then the opposite edge on the other side.
I bet there's a circuit diagram of this somewhere that shows actually what it's doing underneath the...
Probably. That's it. Let me double remove that and put it back the other way. It matters because the motor works the same way. Again, it's got on this side of the thing little metal contacts, and this wire connects via just connecting.
That's neat. It's using... so it's using the sort of inherent connecting ability of Lego studs.
It's really kind of smart.
to also produce an electrical connection, which makes a lot of sense.
Really smart. I love it. And there we go, folks.
Beauty.
The monorail itself rides.
So this set is also like the monorail station, eh?
Oh yes, that's where we go next. So we're going to need a build plate for this one. And we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these black cylinders. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay. And they are 6 from the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to just put that down there. And this one here. And then mirror that on the other side, I guess. Make sure that's on Kamada. And then how many pips do we have in between? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, and 8. And then we have another set of cylinders. I guess these represent the piles that would need to be driven into the lunar regolith.
This is on the moon, eh? Is the ostensibly?
Somewhere that has that is gray and has craters. So let's say the moon. 5 from the other, not 6. I got that incorrect. Yep. So everything needs to get moved 1 pip to the right.
Do you think there's a room at like Lego headquarters that's like the whole floor is just pips? Like is just like build plate?
I would love to see that, and hopefully it is also a meeting room that has a table come out of the sea. Push itself out of the floor, again, full, covered in pips, all of the walls, the ceilings, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, that would just drive an architect insane, probably due to the fact that when you go into a number of buildings over a short period of time that are going through renovations, you learn just how not square anything is.
Yeah. Well, we always are doing that, when we're filming stuff, we'll be like, okay, either the camera is at an angle, the tripod is at an angle, the floor is at an angle, that wall is at an angle, the shelf is at an angle, or the world is at an angle. It's like something's wrong, and I can't tell what part of the process has messed up here, but something is out of whack.
Yeah, it could be any of this. Okay, so this needs to be, I believe, right.
It's like if we're all at the same angle, it's fine. It's just separate angles that's the problem.
But yeah, I would hate to be in a room where there's just a half pip cut off by a wall on the floor.
Oh no, yeah, that'd be the worst.
Oh.
I saw a YouTube video one time that was like forbidden Lego.
Yes.
And it was showing it's like there's, certain blocks that you can force together, but they're not supposed to be forced, but they're not supposed to be able to connect, but they sort of work.
I believe they're actually known as illegal.
Right. Illegal connections. Or the way you can fit like a plate block actually like clips into the between a line of studs.
Oh yeah, like this. Clunk.
Yeah.
Technically illegal, though not always Lego illegal. I know that because of some of the horses I've seen in the sets I've been parting out.
Yeah, when you do that, a signal is immediately sent to Lego headquarters by the GPS built into every Lego block.
That's Scheisse connection. And then they come to your house and take away your Lego. Yeah. Which is why you need to make sure that none of your TVs are connected to the internet.
Yeah. The government is watching you. Luckily, they are only doing it in order to see how you play with your Lego, though. So it's not a big concern.
No, generally not, unless you're one of those Lego deviants. Or even worse, one of those people who cravenly mixes and matches mega blocks with.
Oh, yeah.
With their Lego. That, thankfully, didn't have too many foreign blocks in the Lego pile. Other foreign bodies were available, though, and there was some interesting stuff in there. There was a game from the late 80s, possibly early 90s. No, we need the white versions of those. Good. It was marbles, ostensibly, but it was played with cubes, and you had this shooter thing that was basically just a kind of a, it looked like a remote control, but had a slide on it and a thing that would pop out of the end to knock these cubes around. I guess it was just and you'd use that to play marbles, but with these cubes. So I found one of the cubes in with the Lego. A single light bright pixel as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And trying to think of oh yeah, and a couple of flags from Meccano. Oh, and the one piece of actual rare, not technology, but rare piece that was non-Lego in there that I absolutely needed to, and was elated to find, was a Starcom visor. Anyone who remembers the toys Starcom remembers that they all came with a clear visor that would come down over their helmets. But unlike Lego, the Starcom visors were not very well precision engineered, and therefore ended up getting lost very easily. Starcom being a great little toy series because they didn't use batteries, but they did do a lot of movement because they were all clockwork.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you'd get little transformation things or like bays that would pop out the back of ships.
Neat.
Yeah, all push of a button. And the beautiful sound of
Little plastic gears.
Yep. Hearing these little plastic gears whir out as this tiny little fighter ship extends in its wings and flies off. Come on, get in there. Wow, this is aesthetically pleasing. Get the white to black to white. And then we need 4 of the little lasers. 2, 3, 4. And then they double up the, like, it's an extravagance of satellite dishes on this set.
I mean, you gotta track where your monorail's going, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But do we really need 2 white ones?
That's sort of like those sort of like rings, like stacked satellite dishes and like rings like that.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like a very like retro sci-fi thing.
It really does. And it's let me tell you, it definitely is attractive to me still. Okay, I'm going to pretend that we aren't missing any white dishes. Because based on, based on what I've got in my hands, we got enough to finish off this set. So unless there's someplace else that needs them. I might have miscounted earlier. Of the sets I was able to completely find all the pieces for, no missing pieces, I think there were 2 that are of note. One of them was the core magnetizer, which was my brother's equivalent Holy Grail set. And not going to him in Japan, but thankfully no parts necessary. Alrighty. Next up, long plates. They are 8 by 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are 10 by 2. And we need 4 of them. Another thing that's handy about the working with Bricklink is that you can just hover over the piece to actually see the countings, rather than having to count them out.
Mm.
Great. Now to put these two on top of here. This is a little bit delicate, just a little bit. We need some angulars. Actually, let's put that black crossbar on first. Yeah, weirdly, it's the plates and the and long spans like this of odd shapes that end up being the most expensive on the open market. Like this one would not be a problem, but there are some that I think a 6x10. They kept showing me open market prices of $30 for a 6x10 red plate.
It's just not very common.
Yeah, but it's also not very complex.
Right. Yeah.
So you'd think they'd be less costly, but not the case. And yeah, as we've pointed already, printed plates are also generally pretty costly on the replacement spectrum.
I had with the pirate set. I had like the pirate hideout, I guess it was, or like, which came with it had a build plate that was like an island.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the build plate, but then it was like this sort of donut shaped island in it, and then everything kind of went on top of that.
I think I might have that as well.
And there, yeah, it had like a square in the middle, and it was like a pirate hideout, and with like big chunks of like I don't know, it was like an abandoned boat or something, it was like a partial ship that had shipwrecked.
Did it have the brown rigging in hard plastic?
Yeah.
Those are two pieces that I'm missing right now. And those are absolutely no longer available.
Oh, really?
Yep. I think they only made those particular pieces for that set.
Oh, interesting.
And then never again.
Other pirate ships have rigging done in a different way.
I think so. I could very well be wrong, but they're definitely one of those pieces that shows up on Bricklink without a link to a price or possibility of purchasing. Now those are ones that might be interesting to try and print out 3D wise, because they're not too intricate. You can easily take the dimensions. Okay, I think this piece is now done for step 4. Step 5. Oh, hey! It's time for monorail action. Let's grab one of our transfer pieces. And that goes with, is it 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, or I could just line it up with the 8 pylons, which are honestly some of my favorite Lego pieces ever produced. These pylons here.
Those are pretty cool.
And we've got our tire calibration computers. The least interesting computer, in my opinion, in the Lego franchise, but here we are. And we need our directional indicators, currently set in the stop position.
So that is supposed to be, that's like the brake on the...
Yep, this is the indicator that tells it where to go. And you'll notice that that's moving some stuff on the track.
So does that switch it between 2 tracks, is the idea? Or?
No, this actually controls the direction of the monorail itself.
Oh.
We'll get, I'll show that to you now, actually, here. So let's just get that monorail up on there. And then that enters here. So you'll see if it twists this way, the whole system, these brake pads move that way, and that pushes this switch in the middle here in the right direction.
Oh, neat. And so it's just which side of the system does it gear on to?
Exactly. So if you point it to the middle, and the thing pulls into the station, it clicks the monorail to the off position and stops it there. Or if you had it going the other direction, it would stop and then go back the other way. It's really clever. I really like it. This is the, I don't know what this is technically called, but it goes here.
The thingy.
Yeah, a majigger. Oh, and it's got its own instructions. Cool. We need a 3x1 plate and another 3x1 plate in white. Where'd you go? There you are. There's one of you. There's two of you. And that just clips on up top to make that a little bit more stable. This piece connects to the inside, so you can twist this piece.
Ooh.
And then we need to take one of these, which is a notched rod, and one of these. I don't know what this is for, but this goes onto the bottom of here. And then we have a 10 length black plate. Goes up there. And then a 4 black by 1 plate, which is right there. And then one of the coolest moves in Lego, you take your 2x1 with the single pip on top and you twist it sideways. And that lets you center up. And then you get to stick a little satellite dish on there. Yeah.
So this is a moving satellite dish?
It is not just a moving satellite dish, it looks like. You're going to get not just the satellite dish, but also a little bit of an elevator. We need 2 1x4 plates. The glare from the lights in the studio is causing me to question the color of some of these gray plates. Okay, we need a red pip here and a red pip here. Yeah, let's keep this centered. Let's bring this in and show you what I'm doing here. So we got our red pips there. This feels a little bit long for my taste. That's I worry that's not going to be as stable as one would like, but we're still going to be able to work with it. Okay, now when you get the black plate on top like that, that really cinches things up. Where'd you go, other black friend? Gonna take that again. Where'd you go, plate? And kapow. So there we go. That's our little elevator. And the reason I can say that's an elevator with confidence is because you'll notice that your little lock-in plates there just match there.
Oh, so this is to move the power onto the.
I think either the power or the or if you wanted to like load your cargo into there, you just pull it off the edge of the train, put it on down, and then you just crank it back down to surface level.
I feel like having the satellite dish on top of the elevator is like not the great. Like every time you move the elevator up and down, you're losing your satellite connection.
Stop moving cargo. Daddy's watching his HBO.
Doesn't seem like the most efficient system.
Not at all. Windows and single blocks go on here and here. Windows go out. And where was my other piece here? Again, pieces I love but never got to use as much as I wanted to were these 2x1s with the right angle stick on it.
Oh, it's like a trailer hitch.
Yeah. But I used to love the rubber hoses that you would get from Lego that didn't have the pip connectors on them, and they were just a lot just wide enough that you'd connect them on here, and you could actually get them going places and twisted into interesting configurations. They were also useful for the one part of Lego I never got to experience, but don't really need to now that I'm in my older age, was the Technic pneumatic systems.
Pneumatic?
There was a time when Lego was producing a lot of pneumatics for their Technics, and
with just little teeny weeny tubes.
Yeah, teeny weeny tubes and pressure cylinders, like shocks basically.
Wow.
And they had distribution blocks for them that you could use.
And then you would have like a little pump to move things?
Yeah, like you could make a pneumatically controlled like back end loader or a backhoe or whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they released their motorized systems, and that the pneumatics kind of went away a bit, but it was.
Yeah, I never really got into like Technic stuff, but I messed around. I think I messed around a little bit with like a few, little sort of things like little sort of not robots, but like just little cars and stuff, but nothing serious.
Yeah, we did we had I want to say it was the Snow Rescue Technic set, which was one of the few Technics that included the Technics minifigures, which were not really mini at all. They were actually about the size of your standard action figure, but it was very cool because it was a 6-wheeled vehicle that had a steering little wheel on the top of it that would turn the wheels of the vehicle, but it was a 4-wheel steering on a 6-wheel vehicle. So the front 2 wheels would turn one way and the other 2 back wheels would turn in the opposite direction for a really tight turning radius.
Neat.
But the coolest part of it was that the gearing was done up such that when you turned the steering wheel on the top for you to use it as a little toy, the steering wheel for the front driver would also turn in the appropriate amount.
Nice.
Okay. This is a connection that made me angry as a kid because I felt like it was such a waste of parts. For this bit, we've got the red satellite dish, which I would always, and I've got the parts here necessary, always use those in this configuration to make the most badass laser guns.
Oh, yeah.
But, so you've got the thing. Then you've got your robot arm, which in my mind was such a precious use. And then you've got this lever on top, which is again useful for controlling things. And here they're asking you to put a satellite dish, a robot arm, and a control lever, and just stick it here like it's a street lamp.
It's just like a weird little thing.
Yeah, it's literally there to be like a street light. Infuriating. So we got 2 of those. There they are. So that's what I mean when I say we would absolutely disassemble these kits for the parts that we wanted for other things.
Mm. Well, it's like in the Lego Movie where they when they look around and like all the different Lego, all the things in their world like have little call outs for like what the number of that piece is.
Yeah. That was a surprisingly good movie, and I don't know if...
It was. I very much enjoyed it.
I think if we were in an age that was allowed to have classics anymore, I would absolutely call that a modern day classic.
I think that's fair.
I think it's one of those films. It's one of those films that, much like Back to the Future was in my day, should be replayed on broadcast TV during the holidays, like every year, at some point.
And it's that, it's that area too of like movies that are, sort of ostensibly, sort of cheap cash-ins that are like weirdly, even like the original, Pirates of the Caribbean movie
Yeah.
or whatever. Right? Like when somebody said there's this movie, based on like a ride at Disney World,
Yep.
and you're like, uh-huh.
Could have been the biggest cash in ever, except, oops, we found someone who's really passionate about this and is actually good at storytelling.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have Lego Movie, and again, getting passionate people involved and who actually want to tell a interesting story and really care about the not the lore of Lego, but care about the sort of idea behind Lego.
Yes, yes. The idea and the what Lego means to people, rather than making it a story just about Lego, it's about Lego people.
The sequel was quite good too, actually.
I agree. I can't remember a single thing about it, but I remember not being disappointed. Did they make a third one?
No, I think there's just the two.
Good, good. That seems like a good place to stop. Although I also understand that the Lego Star Wars things are pretty good as well too.
Yeah, I mean they've made other Lego movies. There
yeah.
was like a Lego Batman movie and Lego Star Wars movies and stuff.
That was the one. I think I might not have actually seen the second Lego movie. I think I'm thinking of the Lego Batman movie.
And of course there's a ridiculously large. When I went to set up the Twitch back end for this, you type in Lego to the game thing, and there's something like 50 Lego games. They I don't know if they're still doing it, but for a while they were really churning out the like Lego Star Wars, Lego, Harry Potter, Lego anything. They're actually like they were generally pretty well received too.
Mm-hmm.
At that sort of obviously they're for young kids, but.
I do wonder if the master builder department at Lego ever starts looking at the budget for the Lego interactive department and getting upset with like, how come these damn computer geeks are getting all our funds?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think we've made the first station, people. That's
cool.
Heckin' cool.
Of course, the actual track on that station isn't big enough for the entire.
No, that's why we need another station. This is not a
even with those two, it's not gonna have much distance to go. Did you like when you were a kid and did you actually have like a significant amount of track?
Well, Paul, I didn't want to put all the track in with the rest of the bricks because it is a fair amount.
Oh, I see.
This does come with a bit of a loop to it.
Does it all fit on that one build plate?
It actually, it does, believe it or not.
Like a spiral?
Yeah, it's just a big old oval, but it has we've got curvy pieces here to allow us to change elevations.
Neat.
Yeah. I'm excited to get it out. We need 1 by 2 by 2 black piece. Actually, I think we need all of our black bricks at this point, period. There it is. Okay, let's start counting pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And then we have a 2 by 1 brick. I expect us all to have a champagne and a big old party because we are now breaking ground on a brand new monorail station. 6, and then 1 and 2. Okay, and then we need 4 from the top. Single pips coming down. I saw a stack of pips. There you are. So 2 in and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get our first black pip there, and then a set of 2, then another black pip. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 over, and then 1 down. We have a 1x2. There we go. Then 5 more, another 2x2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get another one of these here. And then 4, 2, 3, 4, and then a 4. And that should leave us with 7 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 7. Good work, me. Okay, we've got the 6 there. Add the 4. Positive reinforcement is important when you're working with someone unreliable.
I mean, you see that in the Lego movie. There's the thing where they're all constructing things and they've got big plans and all right, bring in the block.
Yep. Move it over.
3 blocks from here.
See, it's a professional activity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, that's going to go here. 3 down. And then a 4. Oh, great. That went much easier than I expected it to. Now we're going to add a lot of these slidey plates. So those 2 get 1. This gets 1, and then it gets a very, very sad singular white pip. Aha, there you are. Or sorry, tile. And then we need another one of those. At the end of the other side. There you are. Sad tile. Happy to...
Yeah, the weird they didn't just make it. I guess they had standardized sizes. They just wanted to make...
There must be a reason for it that will reveal itself to us soon. But yeah, it looks like everything, or just about everything here, is going to be covered over. Oh, and I'm missing some other pieces on here that need to be added, like another black 2x1. That's covered here. And then one of these plates goes down here. And there's a black 2x2 that's 2 aside from it. And then, weirdly, this. So it's going to be 2 away from there, and then 1 up from this angle joint. Good. Oh, this piece doesn't go up here. That piece gets a 2, and then a 4. And then we get 2 phasers up there in black. Here's 1, and there's 2. And then we'll do it again on this other one here.
It's like a like an archaeological dig, when you just have they just have the floor, the wall, the remains of the walls and things. They just have the outline of what the building used to look like.
What could have this been used for?
Yeah. Usually, monorail is not usually one of the first guesses.
I mean,
yes, the ancient Aztec monorail.
Look, it's a town with money. They don't know what to do with it. Town like money's with like a mule with a spinning wheel. No one's sure how he got it, and damn knows what he's gonna do with it. This I don't understand. We're just gonna have a couple of antennas out here, just hanging out on single bricks, as you do.
There was one Lego engineer whose job it was, he just took the final building of the monorail. Then he went in and he put he put those antennas there. He put those the little sconces on the other one. He just he added little greebly bits to the Or just to like
Was this
give it character.
Was this the Lego supervisor putting on their own personal touch? Just,
Yeah. Yeah, this needs something. This I'm gonna put a little pokey bit right here.
Yeah, you know what this needs? Zazz. Sir, we don't have any pieces that are designated for Zazz. Well, you ain't gonna get Zazz with that attitude.
With a spinny piece.
There. There. Now, why would you do that? Three from the top. I think that's in line with that. Yes, it should be. Good. And then we have another one of those angled tops.
There's a certain amount of like, teaching kids to like why it's like this thing is being put here. That doesn't make any sense to put it there.
Why?
Why? Trust in the instructions.
Just give it a few minutes.
Yeah, all will become clear.
On the next page.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're about to see some really cool stuff go on here. Yep, flat plate here and flat plate here. Now I wonder why this piece swings like this. What could that do?
What indeed?
Well, let's take a short detour towards this dimension, where we have this piece and a 6 plate, 6x2 plate. Part 2, we then put on a much bigger plate on top of it. And then button that up there like that. Good. Oh, and for some reason we're just going to put one of these little pips just up there. Just don't worry about it. If you didn't notice it when you were building this the first time when you were a kid, you might get really confused.
The white pip on a white background?
Yep, just one of them too. And of course in an isometric view, so you're not entirely certain where it goes, because some pips might be hidden by other bits. Aha, good. We're getting to the stage where we're running out of pieces. So we get into like 1 or 2 copies of each piece, which makes them surprisingly easier to find.
Right. Until you get to the point where you're like, now we actually don't have that piece.
Yeah, and if you don't have the piece, well then that's a problem. Okay, we need a 4x1 like so. And then a 2x1. There you are. All right, then we flip it back over, and then we make a sub-assembly with this, this.
Ooh, another elevator?
No, this one appears to be horizontally situated. Horizontally situated. And it comes one clip from the end there. And, that's going to connect then to this piece here, like that. And we get one of these angly bits here. And then do that. Okay, yep, that goes on like that. And then we have one more double white that goes across the toothed bar, I guess, to
as a block, as a break or
as a stop point.
Stop point.
Okay, we're done that. No. There have been more mystery pieces added. Missed a step back in step 4. This guy. I actually missed a step back, and step 3 is where I missed that. So it looks like that is 4 pips away from there. And a 3. And then that's going to get another plate. Tile, that's right. I've been using incorrect terms I've been pointed out earlier. Okay, now that's in the right place. And it doesn't change. Good, perfect. Everything's working out well. Now we need an 8 wide.
One of my favorite things about the, when they do the keep talking and no one explodes or whatever on during Desert Bus on Zeta Shift, which of course they has been a recurring thing for the last couple of years, is the they usually come up with sort of a completely different, sort of unique shared vocabulary.
Yes, for their
for
pieces.
the different pieces.
It's always fun to see that emerge.
And and they switch off obviously who's giving the clues and who's building the thing, and so each pair will often have their own set of their own vocabulary.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I mean, the whole thing is pretty dangerous
Yeah,
when it comes right down to it.
Okay, and here we go. This looks like it's going to be another cargo carrying lock system.
Right? Yeah, of course.
And where does that go? That goes somewhere, somehow, here. Yep. That connects to that. Oh, that's nice. And then we need to... Ooh! I love these little computer panels with the 9-digit or 10-digit keyboard control entry.
So with this would allow you to sort of move a power block or whatever along horizontally, and then move it onto the other thing to move it up to the
vertically
up to the monorail.
Yeah. Okay, that connects like that. Cool. Then we're... Have I assembled something incorrectly? Nope, I don't believe I have. I was wondering if this needs to be right up against this this piece here, but I think according to the manual there is a little bit of space in between. It's, again, because of the isometric view, it's a little bit tough to tell sometimes whether this is abutting right up against there or has space. But I'm going to pretend it has space.
Yeah, being able to, having like a 3D model that you could like rotate would be super handy.
Very. Right, we need 2 of the reverse angles. Again, this is just such a gorgeous block. Okay, and then we get a black leg on top of that with a white cap and a white extender. Great. Next page, new piece.
I'm sure like any Lego master builder will have like, a quick response for like, what is your favorite Lego piece? And have like very strong opinions.
Yeah. That would be a fascinating thing to watch, to be honest, because I would love to see what master builders consider to be their favorite piece. Of course, you're going to get some of these jokers who are going to say, oh, my favorite piece is the 4x2 brick because it is the classic Lego. And like, no, tell me what piece excites you.
I'm just imagining like the old Lego artisan being like, yeah, just being like, It's like the 2x2 block.
Yeah. Ain't nothing you can't build with bricks. These
Yeah.
kids today, they're just messing around. Back in my day, we had transparent slopes. That was a game changer. Could be a window, could be an eyeball. But I mean, that's probably the question. If I got to interview a Lego master in that respect, I'd probably phrase the question in the case of what was the brick that changed everything for you?
It was like, Lego can do that?
Yeah. Yeah, like what was the brick that before it occurred, you just you were limited in what you were able to make?
What do you consider the sexiest Lego brick?
Well, back in the aughts, they released the Maid Marian. Now, she was a minifig, but let me tell you, not much mini about them. Now, Minnie Mouse. Disney has been big with the Lego, right?
I mean, a lot of Disney properties.
Yeah,
certainly.
that's, yeah.
I mean, there's like lots of, I mean, certainly lots of Marvel properties and different. I don't know about actually like. I guess like Disney, like sort of classic Disney cartoons.
Yeah, I think like things like Mickey Mouse and the Goofies.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Marvel and Star Wars. Or there's a huge Disney World castle set apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, so there we go. That's probably the connection I'm looking for. We get to use one of our big transparent
Ooh.
blue pieces. These ones I find interesting too, because before I put it down, because they require just a bit of thought about how to use them, in that you do require something on these sections to connect to, and this area just doesn't actually provide any structure.
And it's also because of the spacing of the little comb there.
Yeah.
It has to go on an angle.
Now, thankfully, they've got areas here where you can, the little cutouts will go over dots if you're putting it somewhere down where there's dots everywhere. But here we don't have that issue because it's connected to a matching angle. This part needs to come in and connect now, and I remember having such trouble with this as a kid, figuring out how it's supposed to work. Am I smarter as a kid? Or am I smarter today than I was as a kid? Absolutely. Oh, that just connects there and connects there. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
So how does it? So the entire piece now moves, eh?
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a thing once we get it in here. We just need to recreate our angular stuff from the other side. Go, and we just need the black pieces. 2 of these, and where is my final black brick? There we go. And then we get that, and the single in here. Oh, I'd forgotten just how good this was. Okay, these attach to that side of the hinged brick. Singular. Then we get this.
I do like that there's sort of, there's the monorail, which is sort of the, like, the monorail.
The main event.
The main event. But then there's like, rather than just the monorail, then like a little, little platform to go on. There's like this whole other complex thing that is sort of part of the same set.
I mean, if you've got a monorail, it's no fun unless you've got somewhere to go, right? Somewhere fun to go, at least. And good. Second blue piece. Click, click. Well, all right then. And I guess because the supervisor needed to do another few things, we're going to build 2 of these. Again, with more robot arms.
I feel like this dome is not very, very airtight.
Yeah, I feel like maybe this is more for emergency shielding from possible incoming. Paul, I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting here right now, trying to explain the reasoning behind these sets. We're gonna play in the space here for a bit. All right. This goes on top of that. Yep. Wait, oh no, it goes behind. Wait, yes, okay. So that goes behind. The antenna connects to the back. We get another red pip in the middle, which we appear to be missing. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to take note of.
I mean, I do like that in the Lego movie, they sort of lampshade this idea that it's like the reason why, like part of the reason why some Lego sets or Lego vehicles have a bunch of extra stuff on them or look really weird is because the Lego master builders are all kind of weird people and all just like want to build odd, strange things and kind of get carried away. Kind of like, yeah, I'll put a thing here. It'll be really cool.
Then one of these.
They none of them actually are very good at building practical things.
No. Oh, hey, look, we're building antennas that once again just go into the ground.
Maybe they're seismic antennas.
Ooh, thumpers. Here we go.
In case they need to lure the worm.
A common occurrence on the moon.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I was so close. Wait, I was wrong. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. That's one there, and you go there. The other one is 1 away and 1 adjacent. Come on. Boop. Get in there. There we go. Good. Okay. So we've got our 2 antennas there. Got our thing up top there. That is this piece, excepting for our other control point. This is our second station.
Oh. And then the idea is that those are then connected together.
Yes, I believe. So this is going to be how many points from there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe one more in. I think this is the right. No, one over. There we go. This feels like the right position for our track. And there we go with that. It's going to stop there. Check this out.
Oh, and it rotates?
What? Yeah.
What?
Guess that doesn't just belong there. That belongs one over, just because it got stuck. But
I mean, that's awesome, but why? I guess I answered my own question.
Yep.
It's more like, what is it supposed to be representing?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is just a place where you can, again, load on and offload your cargo, but it's unnecessarily cool is what it is. Oh, we still got some decorations to go on here because of course we do. All right, we need a couple of these black plates. And we're going to need a couple of these wings. These, again, these were wings that were very quickly reappropriated for something else because I feel like they're wasted here. 2 and 3 and 4 of those. So we need one that goes up like this and one that goes to the left, and we're going to do 2 of those things.
Yeah, I seem to recall, sort of the any those like 2x2 turntable pieces, or the sort of rack and pinion thing. Any of those kind of dynamic pieces, I remember sort of jealously guarding, sort of keeping separate from all the other stuff because those were sort of the cool pieces.
Oh, the 2x2 tourney pieces. If you ever have the opportunity to stack about 10 to 15 of those on top of each other and then just kind of fiddle around with it like a fidget toy, it's extremely satisfying.
Man. Yeah, the sky's the limit for Lego fidget toys. I mean, Lego itself is sort of a fidget toy, but...
Oh, wow. That's a tight fit. Technically not an illegal position. We are putting it in between 4, wedging it in. It's working. Now we need, again, these white thrusters, which, again, such a beautiful piece that should be used as a thruster or something else. Not just hanging out at the top of these meteorite shields.
It's funny the way it does the... like they'll often sort of sort of switch between a particular piece being like, this is, the barrel of a laser gun, or this is a thruster. And then the exact same piece will be used in a different context as like, this is a flower pot.
Yep. All right, that's base 2 that we've done here. Let's see if we can power through this little guy here and then get our track set up.
This is just like a little ski thing?
Yeah, this is, again, well, to keep the nomenclature consistent, this is a little coffin transporter.
Ah.
It's a little runabout thing. Let's get that there. 2 of the 6x. Snap them in. 1 pip from the end. Got this, and there should be 1 more of those. I absolutely found it there. Take a quick rehydration.
Oh yeah, those little like black sort of nacelles.
Oh, these nacelle things, yeah.
I remember, I had a bunch of. I think the ones I had were gray. And I remember those being kind of a cool thing, like just kind of like a weird piece.
The gray ones are actually worth quite a bit right now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ah.
I know because I'm missing a couple. I think that the person that my grandmother bought the used Lego from was someone who was building dioramas, because there were a few pieces that were painted in weird ways. Some of them were missing and others were broken, but it just felt like they'd been used not by a child, but by someone to build something that's not just straight up Lego.
Ah. Yeah, I think all my old Lego long ago went to like my, my cousin, or like my sort of the next generation.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, I think, appropriate.
I think
along with all my action figures and stuff.
I mean, that's where it was kind of supposed to go in our family as well. But then my brother moved to a place where it's rather difficult to send
right
heavy things.
Yeah, my cousin really into he was really into Transformers.
Ooh.
And stuff, so he got all my old Transformers, which then transitioned into being really into Gunpla.
Hey.
He I believe he actually like won a local like speed Gunpla building contest here.
That's impressive.
Victoria, yeah.
You know what? I think that might be your cousin that I met at a theater recently, seeing the latest Mobile Suit Gundam movie.
Oh.
They were sitting behind me. They apparently heard on an episode of Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry. So Bandai, reach out. I'm a good promotional resource. But they'd heard on Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry that it was happening that week, and went out to see it.
Wow.
Good film too. Oops, turn that around. This is where I think we might be missing one of the pieces. And I think, yes, we are. Okay, that's fine. We'll do as much of the construction as we can, which is odd because I'm pretty sure that I saw these parts earlier.
I mean, we're getting down to it now. There shouldn't be that much can't see immediately.
Yeah. No, I mean, if these parts exist, they exist back home in the not assigned pile currently. But I think we can still put this together without, in a way that it will look mostly correct and will absolutely function. So those two go like that. Then we get a black bar over top of it, thusly. And then we get the 6-piece to go there. And then this piece goes like that. And then we have another, great. And that just connects to there. And this connects to here. And we'll just show, we'll point the good side towards camera. And that's how we'll make up for it. We got to add hoses, because every good vehicle is covered in hoses.
It's true.
I mean, that's what's. Oh, I'm gonna get the name wrong. Hi, I'm Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane taught us.
Sorry, that's what reminded you of the name?
Yes.
He's that guy who always says hi before his name.
There's a very specific video I'm leaving the preamble out of there. Which would you rather do? Spend an eternity in hellfire, or watch as some guy just goes to town on your special friend? Hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn. Okay, you go off, King. You did things for
He is that. He is all of those things.
It's true. He did some good work for the Edmonton Oilers, I guess. Or was it the
talented comic book artist, excellent action figure. I feel like he's almost known more for super cool action figures than for comic books at this point. Yeah.
Though, aren't we getting a Spawn movie soon?
Another one?
Yeah. I don't want to say a reboot, but I guess a boot in the current environment.
I hadn't heard about that, but it doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
I think it was.
I think a lot of people were disappointed in the Spawn movie that did come out.
Yeah, it was not the right time, I think.
Although my favorite thing about the Spawn movie is they were talking about Violator, the like big nasty guy who's this like big monster, and had to be changed. They had to figure out in order to make the 3D model, they had to figure the way Todd McFarlane drew his jaw was actually an optical illusion. Like it only worked from one angle in the comic books. And so because he had this like huge like jaw filled with teeth, and it was like it didn't actually work, and like not just anatomically, but like by the laws of physics.
Yeah, you couldn't actually make anything.
It couldn't actually work in 3D, and so they had to adjust.
Did you ever see the some of the screen caps from the development of the first JoJo anime opening theme? It's very similar in that respect, that they're making poses that are absolutely impossible, again, for a human form to make.
Right,
But because it's in a 3D model, you can just remove the arm and put it over here so they can give their arm. So that gives me new respect for Todd McFarlane, too. Create something that is physically unfilmable.
The other thing that I really appreciated about the movie is they made his cape CG almost entirely. Because the other thing that Todd McFarlane would do, of course, is to not have to draw backgrounds. Spawn's cape would just like fill the entire panel, just because it was like so billowy and weird and giant. And so in the movie, it was, I think occasionally it was real, but it was most of the time it was sort of CG and just kind of like moved around and stuff. It was quite cool.
No, that's a smart play. I think no, wait, I'd not quite finished that. I need 3 more of these plates, and then this little transporter's done. By the way, I've been saying it often enough. This is why I consider this a space coffin. You put a minifigure in there, and it's perfectly shaped for that human being.
I mean, what else is it for?
I mean, you can technically put their possessions in there too. No, you can't even do that. If you start overloading it, it is one minifig big.
That's maybe that's the it's like if you pay for business class, you get to sit up front. The economy class is you get put in the coffin.
Right. I completely believe that. Okay, I've decided that yes, I am missing the mini satellite dishes because they belong here in the last bit of assembly. That is not. Yeah, just the last bit of assembly. There's nothing to it. We need to make 2 of these, so let's do that quickly here. Yep, you're upside down, but you may. Ooh, you are an old block. I might have to swap you out. I've now become very sensitive to the difference between a block with a dot and a dash in the bottom of it.
Oh.
Yep.
Do they actually connect differently?
No, but they definitely price differently.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and that's
Which is the more better one?
This one, I believe, is the one that is going to be more expensive because it is less readily available. I believe.
The dashes are the more common ones.
I think so. I'm trying to see if I can find the serial number in them to knock them up. But I think these ones are probably more modern because they actually end up using much less plastic. But then again, there are some that have, like these ones, the angled. The older ones will have no dot in the bottom, whereas the new ones will have a dot for added adhesion. But I guess they're not always necessary. There you are. Satellite dish goes up. Satellite up. Another one of these with an illegal antenna configuration. Boop. Here we go. Like, it's an incredibly handsome set once it's all put together, but it does take up a significant amount of room. Ah, yes, that's why we have these vented 2x1s, because they are difficult to find. And I may have put one somewhere else earlier that I did not intend to. Yep. Okay, I have to find one of those later. Anyway, we need 2 angles, 2 regular 1x2s. Vent on that side because it'll look pretty, and then we'll pretend that you are a vent, and then another 2 on top.
Now it's going to overheat.
I know, right? and then we won't be able to transfer the information along the entire circuit. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. And then we need this to span the top, which has its own lasers. I'm assuming for laser-based Internet Protocol relay. Mm-hmm. And then weird, a single Technic-style drilled plate.
Oh, yeah.
Goes up top. I guess for aesthetic reasons.
This reminds me of like Tron, where they're traveling along the sort of the train that's just going on a laser.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good point of the movie. I always thought to myself that was sort of a oh no, we're good. It was sort of a solar sail-like situation. Aha!
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Here we are. Here's an example. This is a gray block that has no center hole, and you can see the center hole in that one.
So presumably those two blocks are actually, like, one of those is not actually from this set.
Correct.
It's
just gotten mixed in.
It's just gotten mixed in. I wonder which one is the like older one?
The
one without the centerpiece?
Yeah, the one without the centerpiece is absolutely the older one. But I don't think it really matters for this particular set, especially seeing as the number of dirty pieces that are going to exist and yellowing on certain pieces. These are all things that drive the value of a Lego set down. Which, honestly, if I'm parting with this set, it's going to someone who I, God willing, hope will be building it and enjoying it for that reason. So in that case, the piece itself doesn't really matter.
Right.
But collectors these days. Okay, that goes in there, and then this goes over top like this. And I wonder if I haven't added some extra pieces to this set accidentally. Because I don't think this goes with anything, or this, for that matter.
Again, when you're building a monorail, it's always good to have a few pieces left over.
Yep. So let's start building the track, which means we need to open up the manual, and open up the manual. Open up the manual. I think we just need to go to here now. Yes, this will make do for us. So let's get the tracks out. Yep. And I guess let's get the track itself together. So we need two sections which connect this way. Well, how am I going to connect them? Well, that's what these little gray pieces are here for. You just get the two pieces lined up. They're keyed, so they only go together one way. And there we go.
Even seeing a Lego piece like attached on the side like that just seems kind of wrong.
But it's pretty sturdy once you get them on there like that. Okay, so now we need a straight piece. I was extremely frightened when I was initially parting this out because I thought that I was missing a single section of the monorail track.
Oh no.
Which would have been absolutely devastating because there are only two sets that used this particular track. Two, maybe three. Sorry.
Well, I mean, once again, the fact that it wasn't sufficient just to make a monorail, but the fact they had it like go up and down.
Yeah. They didn't need to do that, but
just to make it cooler.
They sure did. Fastlane, I like that you're right on the same page as I am there. That careful with the track pieces. That's like most of the value of the set right there. Yeah. Do we have enough space on this table? I wonder. So that's up, and then that goes to one of these second monorail bits there. And then there is another circular motion. So that gets a gantry. Go. Get those two connectors.
This would definitely be a bit of a problem in the average kid's bedroom.
Yeah.
See why people didn't necessarily keep this whole thing together for very long.
There wasn't, yeah, if you had floor space, well, you either had floor space or a monorail.
Yeah, after you trip over, or your parents trip over it a few times, it probably gets a lot less popular.
And not weirdly that easy to put together and take apart. Like there is setup time involved.
Right. Isn't like, a Hot Wheels track or something where it's supposed to be kind of put together and taken apart quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so the curve happens. We get another gantry piece. We get a straight piece. And then we enter one of the stations. I forgot to add, right here. That's where station number 2 goes. So let's break those apart.
Forgot to unfold the...
This is, I think I'm gonna have to do this on the, on an angle. Okay, so we're gonna bring in station 1. Up here. Nope, that goes to the inside. I mean, it doesn't really technically matter, but there we go. Let's clip that in. Clip that one in as, ooh, well, here we go. That's good. And then we go down. And then that's going to connect to the other half height. I do like that they have the S curve, the elevation changes. Really makes it nice and smooth. Good God, this is not absolutely going to fit on the table as is. This absolutely needs the twist. Let's bring in the other station.
Chad was saying that large white plate there that you didn't know where it went, I think fits on top of one of the stations. There's a one extra piece.
Probably, yeah. It goes here now.
That might have been the wrong spot for that, I guess.
Let me tell you, these space engineers, they ain't what they used to be. All right, you go there now. Right. The last of the track, which is over here.
That's true. You have to keep in mind that this was engineered for the lower gravity of the moon.
Yes. And this one over here. There's a little bit of flex in the track, which is nice. And only 2 more here. And we've got to get the satellite dishes and whatnots up and running as well, because why not? If not now, when? And if not for you, then for whom? Ah, that's where the last two go. Over here. We almost had a track issue. All right, everything's locked in. Satellite dish systems operational. Needless bridge system engaged. Manual done. Let us then place ourselves upon the track.
So we had enough juice to turn the light on.
Yep. Oh, I think it goes this, yeah, it definitely goes this way, because that way you have access to the loading system, which can then come right up to track, and you can load off. Up. And we'll go bring this one over here. And we'll pretend that we need to reload our system. So, are we ready to see if we have a working monorail? Let's push the button. It locks in place. Forward ho!
Ah! Monorail, 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 monorail. Even goes up the hill. Oh,
and it stops.
and it stops at the other one.
Where it's supposed to. So we'll bring up the cargo. And we'll put it on top. Bring that down. We're going to turn this to flashing mode for maximum fun. And let's send it on its way. Let's let it make a full loop. Why not? Gotta get up. Ooh. And it keeps going.
Beauty. Look at that.
Right. Now, we're going to give it one more difficulty.
So you're telling it to turn around now.
Yep.
So it's going to go through. Clicks. Ha! That is brilliant.
And then it's going to come back and it's going to change directions once again. Well, you know what? I'm really glad that A, it's working, and B, that we now have video evidence that this is a 100% working Lego monorail. Well, thank you, friends, so much for joining us here today on Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry. We built the thing, and it works, and that's the important thing. I want to remind you to check out patreon.com/loadingreadyrun should you wish to help us out with everything that we do and allow us to do more ridiculous things like building ancient Lego sets. Of course, check us out over at youtube.com/loadingreadyrun and loadingreadyrun.com for links to all the various things we do. But for the rest of this evening, have your time back, and we will see you in a fortnight, never in fortnight, ever forward, learning out of spite. Good night, folks.